Oh, don't look now, but your Cleveland Cavaliers haven't lost a game yet in the regular season. How about that? It's a long season, but still. You can bask in the glory of the Cavaliers. LeBron and Bronny will be in town on Wednesday night. I have to assume there'll be some kind of hullabaloo for that game. But the Cavs are in New York tonight to play the Knicks, the Knickerbockers, at Madison Square Garden. I don't think anything's happened there recently, so it'll be interesting to see the Cavs take the floor. Knicks are 1-1. Your Cavaliers are 3-0, going for that number 4. And the coach of the Knicks, it's not Tom Thibodeau still, is it? Who coaches the Knicks?
Yeah, it's still Tibbs.
It is. Oh, good for him. Loved him on the Bulls. He says the Cavs have a fantastic offense. Maybe he's trying to play mind games with them. I don't know. But I don't want to get into the Trump, Tony Hinchcliffe stuff yet.
Okay.
Everybody's asking me about it, and I'm not ready to get into it yet.
We're not there yet.
I had a bunch of fun this weekend. I got things I want to talk about. You want to talk about Halloween?
Well, Halloween's this week, Bill.
I know, but I had a big Halloween party.
Big Halloween party, right? You dressed up as Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll was a
Dude, you
big
nailed it.
hit.
You nailed it.
Thank you. I gained all this weight just for that costume.
Well, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, you it's face tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Face
he also
tattoos?
kind of looks like it. Maybe it's just like
'Cause he's
being a
big.
bearded
Big
dude.
guy,
Yeah.
beard.
When Skinny Bill comes back, he ain't going to be able to do Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll's lost 100 pounds.
And Bill,
Not till you
Skinny
notice
Bill is
it.
coming back, too.
Why is Skinny Bill coming back?
I can't talk about it yet.
Uh-oh.
That sounds like an endorsement opportunity.
That's correct. But
I'm
so
Bill Squire for
He'll be taking over Chipotle low-cal bowls probably
there you
or
go.
something. There you go.
but yeah, so Saturday was the Medina Oddfellows Halloween bash at the Common Ground, which Medina's so different from when I lived there. The Common Ground is a big collective of like artists and vintage resellers, and
It's not a coffee shop.
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
they have a bar in it. They got it's just a big warehouse that they've converted into different spaces for you can do events there. You can
Do they serve coffee?
I think there is a coffee shop in there somewhere, but I don't think they were open during this. But it was all catered. There was a big costume contest. There was casino games. They raised a ton of money for Special Olympics in Medina. So we had over 500 people come out. So that was awesome. And within this building, there's also a tattoo shop that happened to be run by this dude, Anthony, that is friends with my daughter's boyfriend. And my daughter and her boyfriend were at this party. So we went and hung out in there. And me and my girlfriend, towards the end of the night, were like, we should get a tattoo. And so we did. We both got little spooky tattoos to kind of commemorate, because we just kind of hit a year together too. So.
Aw.
Yeah.
1 year anniversary matching tattoo?
Well, they're not matching. They're still very individual to us. We just got them at the same time. So
No, when Gaylord called last week, you didn't want to talk about your anniversary.
Oh, I want to do it on my own terms. Gaylord's not my boss.
Your boss! Gaylord calls to wish Bill and his girlfriend a happy 1 year anniversary, and you didn't want to talk about it.
Well, maybe I like to do things my own way. So,
But you didn't know you were going to get a tattoo.
I didn't, but then I did. So I'm like, all right, well, let's talk about it.
I see.
And again, it's not a tattoo that is. We just were like, hey, this will be fun to get.
And
They're
what
not
is
matching.
the tattoo?
So I got.
Did you get it on your face to complete
Yes,
the...
I got it. As you can see, it's on my face. No, I got it on my forearm where I'm kind of just collecting random tattoos. And you can see it on my Instagram story. And on my Instagram, I made a post with Jelly Roll, and the tattoo that I got is a ghost. Because I wanted to get something that was like Halloween themed. So I
Is it invisible?
I
Like it's a
said,
ghost?
Yeah.
I want to get like a classic ghost. And the Anthony, the tattoo artist, he's like, what if we add some sexy legs to it? And I was like, that's hilarious.
Sexy legs.
So let's do that. Here you go, Alan. You can see it.
Sexy legs on the... Okay, yeah. I got it.
Yeah, and you can...
How long did you have to sit for that?
it took about 40 minutes or so.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Nothing too... A lot of lines because it's got stockings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was at the end of the night. Before that was the there was just all sorts, Disco Inferno was playing, and then we did the big costume contest with the grand prize being $1,000.
Right.
So people went for it. There was so many great costumes, and it was a little later in the night than we had planned on doing it. But you know how those events get. Things kind of get away from people. So we did it at about 11 o'clock, and everybody was
hammered.
Lit up.
ready. Yeah, well, they were full. It was All Hallows Eve, but they were hammered, and the stage was set up in a way where there was like different levels to it, and there was a higher level, and in between it there was straw, and people kept stepping on the hay bales and falling into the stage.
Oh, God.
And it wasn't far enough that it was like they were getting hurt, but it was far enough that when they try and pull their leg out, their shoes would keep coming off. So I am crying, laughing, because I keep saying, don't step on the hay, don't step on the hay. And they step on the hay, and their foot goes down.
You're like a hay referee.
Yeah, and they pull their foot up, and shoe is gone again. And so then they have to, in a costume, get down on their hands and knees and try and pull their shoe out from under the stage. So that happened to about 4 different people. And the winner of there were some real good ones, but the winner of the overall $1,000 was a Grim Reaper, but he had like one of those big, he was like a 12-foot tall.
Like a Monty Python salmon moose Grim Reaper.
Yeah,
He was on stilts?
No, it's like it was like it was his regular legs, but it would like go on his shoulders, and then the head was like another 6 feet above.
From the
his
shoulders
head.
up, it was huge.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So it wasn't a sexy ghost with legs.
There wasn't
That
any sexy costumes, really.
Really?
There was, but I think the
That's
sexy
a bummer.
costume. I mean, my girlfriend.
It's the only
was,
reason the Grim Reaper won.
Yeah. Well, I don't think people would have gone for it either. There are a few people that
Not that
had
kind of crowd.
had some stuff out, but I think people, there was a guy dressed up as Trump working at McDonald's.
When it's that much money, though, I think people take it seriously.
Yeah.
They do,
They're
but
like, I
girls.
want to be spooky.
I did 1 billion of these back in the day, and the hot nurses always won. Didn't matter how much work. I'm glad that guy won.
I feel like that's a back in the day thing too,
Generational.
because now like you see hot girls in their on Instagram and stuff like that, so there's not as much thirst for that kind of thing on Halloween.
I
like there
guess,
used to
yeah.
be.
I mean, it's not stopping girls from dressing slutty on Halloween, though.
Well, this was a predominantly not slutty event.
Oh, that's a bummer.
No, it was great. It was really fun. Like there weren't a bunch of slutty costumes, but there was a lot of fun ones, and ones that people put a ton of time into, which I enjoy a lot.
Who was the first runner-up?
The McDonald's Trump.
Oh, Trump McDonald's. Okay.
Yeah, because it was an audience vote, and obviously in Medina there was a lot of support. For
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So
He dressed up. He dressed up, and this person dressed up.
But it was funny. It was a good. It was very topical. He looked the part.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit thinner Trump.
Of course.
Taller too. Better
Yeah.
posture, but. It was fun, and
Not slouched and fat.
Yeah.
Well, then it's the attention to detail that put you in second place, sir.
Yeah, but the whole event was so much fun. Food was good. The staff, those Odd Fellows, I didn't know much about them, but I like them, and they throw a good party. And the tattoo was fun. So.
We were at this wedding in Jersey. And the day of the wedding itself was on Friday. And so the wedding, it's the reception. And it was very loose. I mean, it wasn't like a big sit-down thing. Everybody was kind of milling around, and they had like, high tops, but there was food all over the place. And so it was a lot of us who hadn't seen each other in a few years, all of our Chicago friends who have really kind of spread out. They're coming from Denver and Detroit and San Francisco. And our friend who was getting married, he and his girlfriend, she's from Jersey, but he has grown up with my wife. They've known each other since kindergarten. And so anyway, I'm one of our friends who still lives in Chicago. I hadn't seen him in a minute, and I'm going to get a drink. And he goes, I posted a photo of this, by the way, too, on my Instagram. But he goes, hey, have you been to the men's room yet? And I go, no, is it a mess? thinking somebody's already in there
Yeah.
vomiting, somebody's already taken a massive, and he just kind of looks at me and he goes, "You'll see." And I go, "Ooh, I can't wait." So I find the men's because I haven't been there yet, and it's in this place in Seagirt, New Jersey. We're literally it's on the shore. We're literally 2 blocks from the water there. This place called the Parker House, which is this really old, beautiful event space. I'm sure it was the hoi polloi was in full effect there, but 1858, this place has been set up. So anyway, it's kind of old wooden floors, and I'm trying to find where the men's room is. And I opened the door, and there's a cardboard standee of me from when I did my Mountain Dew Circle K Purple Thunder campaign.
Hell yeah.
From a couple summers ago. And I had forgotten that I had mailed our friend Matt, who was the groom. I forgot that I had mailed him one when I did the campaign because he texted me, he goes, "Bro, you have to send me one of those." And they would put it next to their tree and put a hat on it and all this kind of stuff. And so but I had forgotten that I had done it. Well, apparently everybody knew this was in there but me. Gwen knew there had been conference calls about this, about where it was going to be and to bring it. So I go to tell her, and she goes, "Oh, I know." Literally everybody knew but me. Now, mind you, there were a lot of people at this wedding who did not know me, had no clue what the cardboard guy was about.
Like, are you the bathroom Mountain Dew?
Right. And I said, really, the people I feel the worst for are the people who are trying to scan that QR code because the campaign's over and
they're missing out.
Right. And then I forgot that I had sent it to him and his now wife. And by the end of the night, I had forgotten it was in there at all. So he sent me a photo later on of them putting it in the dumpster. And I said it should have been in there a long time ago. But the proportions of this thing were so strange that it's just weird. When they had first come to me a couple summers ago and said, "This is what we want to do." And I was like, I'm not really down with that. But, I'm Captain Fun. I said, sure, thinking that it would be rendered as a life-size cardboard cutout.
How tall is it? Like 3 feet?
It looks like me, kind of
like
shrunken
5
down,
feet tall.
But my hand is huge because they had to put the QR code on it. And so it looks like you're looking at me in kind of a parallax, like I'm fading down to the feet. Yeah, it's very strange. And, my face is already large enough, so I'm not trying to. So that was pretty wild. So then later on, I stumble back into the men's, forgetting that it's there, and it's standing there still. But they got rid of it, and it was fine. It was fine.
That's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's a fun surprise. I like that.
Yeah, I would have died laughing.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, what is this? And for
it had to be so out of your mind to even think that was like you said, a few years ago, so you're not even thinking about that. And you walk in there.
And it's not your wedding.
Yeah.
Right. I would have loved to have seen somebody who had no clue who I was. Because it was a lot of people we didn't know, obviously. Because
did anybody come up to you and be like, "Hey, bathroom guy"?
No. But, there were a couple of people that kind of, because my hair was short in that thing and I was wearing I had a suit on the other night. So, no. I thought maybe one person might,
Were you just standing by it like, huh?
What do you think? No, I didn't do anything.
Oh, this is embarrassing that this is here. I wonder why.
But I kind of felt bummed out too because I was fully expecting to walk in and see somebody hurling all over the place or somebody with, nuclear grade diarrhea destroying the men's.
Nope, just your giant head.
Just me in cardboard relief. Alan, I broke both ankles 10 minutes apart from each other. The ER said they're mirror breaks and they had never seen anything like it.
That's crazy.
I ended up with pins and plates in surgery in both ankles. Yeah, that's wild.
That sucks.
I don't know how you get that. But
fall down twice.
Oh, man. We were on Saturday night. We had dinner first, and then we were meeting our friends at this place called the Asbury Ale House. And so we're walking in. It's Saturday night, so there's a lot of people in costume, like Bill's thing, right? They're doing a costume contest. This is a huge place. A lot of our friends from Michigan, they want to watch the Michigan State game. But it's also World Series weekend, too, and we're in Jersey, and it's tons of people rooting for the Yankees, who you might have noticed, haven't won a game yet. Dodgers are steamrolling these guys.
Yay.
Is it
So-
two?
They're
or
down
three?
2 games. They're down
Two
2.
to, yeah,
that's
2
what I
games.
thought.
So we're walking down the street and walking into this ale house or whatever, and I look across the street, and there's a concert venue there. And it turns out there's a band, a very heavy band that I love, playing that night. A band called
yeah.
Kubla Khan TX. And it's on the thing. I go, oh my God. But we're supposed to hang out. And Gwen's like, why don't you just go to the show? Why don't you go across the street to the show? I go, it's probably sold out. And there's one other guy in this whole group of people at this wedding who I met literally like the night before, but he's like a big metal guy like I am. And I go, dude, do you see who's playing across the street? And he goes, yeah. And I go, I'm going to go over there and see what's up. Mary would like these guys. You'd probably like Kubla Khan TX. Once they start singing, that's when you dig it.
I love Kubla Khan.
I mean, these are guys who call themselves Kubla Khan, and then somebody goes, hey, we're already calling ourselves that. They go, all right, we'll just put TX on the end, and then, that way people can geolocate us or whatever. Anyway, I walked across the street and talked to the doorman, and he's like, sold out.
Dang. Were you like, listen, I just want to come for the opener anyway?
Yes! No, I want to see them, but it hadn't even occurred to me while we were making plans for this trip to see if bands were playing nearby. It didn't even occur to me.
Every trip I take,
I normally
see what
do, but
concerts
this
are
was going to
around.
be like wedding stuff and a bunch of friends of ours we hadn't seen. So I'm like, because we were at a hotel. This hotel, Jesus Christ, by the way, the hotel. A bunch of friends of ours, they all rented an Airbnb, which wasn't too far from us. So we'd go over there and drink and F around or whatever. But our hotel, I like walk in, I go, you have got to be. I was so hot when I walked into this hotel. Because it's a really nice hotel.
Hot mad or hot
Hot mad.
temperature?
I was hot
Okay.
mad. I was big mad. Because
Big mad.
it's called the Hotel Saint Laurent, I think is okay. It's like $350.
Like the fashion brand?
That's Yves Saint Laurent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hotel.
But I'm saying, is it connected?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, I think they.
Anyway, go ahead,
it's
sorry.
one of these old. It's in a residential neighborhood, so it's one of these old houses they converted into like a boutique hotel,
Yeah,
right?
I hate boutique hotels.
Gwen
I
loves them.
really hate them.
And 9 times out of 10, they're okay. We stayed at those kinds of places all over the place, right?
Pain in the ass.
I-
Everything's out of date. Nothing works right. It's
I
old.
like a chain. I'm sorry.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'll splurge. We can stay at the
Consistency.
Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah.
But I'm like, anyway. But this place, we were looking at it, and I booked this like 2 months ago. But it's like $350 a night. Okay, we're gonna be there for 3 nights, so whatever. I go, okay. I mean, it looks nice, whatever. And they send you the information. Hey, you can check in. We're on the road Thursday. Check in on the app. Blah blah blah. Get all the parking information. Great. Well, the parking information is we don't have parking.
Woohoo.
So you got to get a spot in the street. I'm like, okay. So anyway, we got this because and there's a restaurant in it and a lounge and like all this cool like hipstery stuff, whatever. Well, there's no elevator. I mean,
that was going to be the first thing I said, is that those boutique hotels are usually so old, or they're like historic buildings that
Yeah.
they're not allowed to update the infrastructure. So they almost never have
I'm like,
elevators.
legally, I didn't think they could do that. But then I was
They
like,
can't-
well,
they
if they're
can't change
historical,
them.
yeah,
Yep.
they can't. So,
I hate them.
and my wife, she packs like she's going to Tanzania for a month, right? So we're going up they put us on the 3rd floor, top floor. So we're up 3 flights of these narrow steps. I'm like, oh my God. So we get up there, you got to put a code in the door or whatever. So there's no parking, there's no elevator, there's no fridge in the room, which is not the end of the world, but whatever. The bed is like a Murphy bed. So we never put it up, but I mean, it goes up and you sit on the couch or whatever you want, Not a whole lot going on in the room. And I'm like,
There
you
usually
kidding
isn't.
me?
They're
I'm like,
there.
and when you check in, the lady goes, now there's a credenza at the end of the hall that's going to have all of your lifestyle needs. And I go, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, oh, it's got, like toiletries and things in it. And there's like one iron
Yeah.
at
for
the end
whole
of the hall.
floor.
Yeah, at the end of the hall. And I'm like, okay. I mean, whatever. It's fine. We weren't going to be spending a lot of time in there anyway. But I'm like, so when it was time to check out and leave a review, I said, this place is laughably overpriced. This is off season, by the way, in Jersey.
Yeah.
Uber driver was telling me, he goes, oh, that place in the summertime is like $600 a night. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Those old hotels have no amenities.
There was a dude overnight one night. It was like, and we were getting back late anyway. We weren't crashing until like, 2:30. And a bunch of our friends were staying in the hotel too, so we could see them. But there was some guy in the middle of the night, like 4:30, who's banging on his door because he can't find his code. And there's nobody there. It's not like you can call housekeeping. There's like a girl in front of a laptop at an old-timey desk in the lobby, right? Mm-hmm. It's like an old house. So normally those places I really don't have a problem with, but I'm like, if I'm paying that kind of money, man, I better have everything I need in this place.
I stayed at one time on the road that had a shared bathroom.
Oh,
that it had like a bathroom per floor, and I was like, "This is
but was it $350 a night?"
No, it was.
That's
like,
what I'm
it was
saying.
Still like $150, but you don't have a bathroom. Mm-hmm. You have to leave your room to go pee, and hope nobody's blowing it up.
So I won a contest in Columbus like 15 years ago, a comedy contest, and the prize was you get an audition for a Comedy Central spot on a show called Live at Gotham. And so they gave me $500 as a prize and then $500 to book the hotel. And my wife at the time, she's like, "Oh, I'll book the hotel." And she goes to a boutique hotel.
Yeah.
And we get there, and first of all, they have an elevator, but there's a guy that's supposed to run it.
Yeah,
it's one of those
like the
little ones.
elevator operator with the chain,
But
not chain doors.
He
what
wasn't.
Are those called? The gates.
The gates. Yeah. So he wasn't there when we got there. So we get in the elevator, and she's like, "I guess we just do it ourselves." And I was like, "Okay." And so I run it, and I like go up there, and then we hear the guy goes, "Hey, come back here." And so then I bring it back down.
It's a union job.
Yeah. And then he takes us up to our room, and it is a galley room.
Yeah.
It is a single bed that is not a bed. It is literally a bench.
A cot.
Like it was a bench basically with a pad on it, and there's two of us. And I am a big guy, and she felt so stupid, and she is. And because then also like the hotel, we didn't have a bathroom. You had to walk down and so it was basically like an old fashioned YMCA that they turned into a boutique hotel. Now the shower was that was the one good thing about it, was the shower was really nice, but you still had to walk down the hall to use it.
Yeah, then you're walking back to your room in a towel.
Yeah.
Unless you take all your stuff with you.
Right.
Yeah,
it was insane. And we couldn't even fit on we slept there one night, just huddled together. And then the next night I had the worst night of sleep. My audition went not great because I was miserable the whole day. And then we got back to the hotel for our second night staying there. And I was like, "Can we just go home?" And then we drove through the night to just get home rather than stay in that stupid boutique hotel again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still mad about that.
Sometimes they're great. I mean, we've stayed at places like that in Toronto, which are awesome, and other cities too. But this place, I was like, in the off season, I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Mm. And it was disappointing, to say the least. Okay, I'm going to break here. You want to get a text in 35192 if you're listening to us on iHeartRadio. The app, you can leave messages there if you like. I got another $1,000 straight ahead of you. 3:30 is that next keyword that's going to give you $1,000 from the Buzzard Bookie.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.